Bigweed here. Today we review a lager and wonder, are there really 42 million people getting food stamps? Okay, all right.
Bigweed, all right. How's it going?
Evening,
How about some beer and conversation?
I think that's a great idea. What are you drinking anyway?
So this is a forgotten lore American lager.
American lager.
My. It looks like a glass of water.
As far as a light beer goes, that is super light.
Super light. All right, so what's on your mind?
Well, have you heard that the government is shut down?
Well, it hasn't affected me in any way, but yes.
But you haven't noticed that the nation can barely function?
No, I haven't.
No, I haven't. And we live in the shadow of the Capitol.
Yes.
And we still haven't noticed the fact that the federal government is not... and other than my sweet commute to work, the next best thing is exposing the SNAP scam, the way that I see it.
Yeah.
What, 42 million? Is
42 million people.
The question should be not, what's going to happen with the SNAP program? It's, how did 42 million people get on the SNAP program?
Right.
Anyway, that's not a light topic, but that's a light beer.
That is a light beer.
I mean, no, seriously, that is, it's like sake.
I've never had a beer that is that light. Seriously.
Yes, no, you think of Budweiser and Bud Light and Michelob
Budweiser
Ultra.
Is darker than that.
Yes, this is lighter than
this
Michelob
is lighter
Ultra.
than that. In all my 5 years,
I wouldn't know how to brew a beer and still get unless it's a 1% beer. So
is it made of rice?
It's the fact that it's a 4.3. Yeah, that's what I said. Yeah, it's a sake. It's 4.3%, and so maybe there's not enough information on there to find out if it's rice based or
not enough information on the can. But it doesn't taste bad. It's just like good grief. That is.
I mean, it's got more flavor than you would expect from a beer that looks like water. Mm-hmm. But not a ton of flavor.
No. Wow. That is really surprising.
It's a local collaboration by a local brewer and my neighborhood.
And your neighborhood
beer store.
Yeah. I mean, it's perfectly fine. Yeah. But gosh.
I know. Were they going? I mean, I would have played that up somewhere on the label or the name. Like, it's got this like dark and brooding label.
I know, but it should be like a ghost or something. This is ghost beer.
Yeah,
see-through ghost beer. All right, so what do we got about this SNAP thing?
So yes, I think
is it the Declaration of Independence or anything like that?
What I like, so I might tell this just through a series of memes.
Okay.
Because there were just so many good memes. There's a guy. Where's the guy with the confused look on his face, going, "Am I the only one buying his own food?"
Right. Yes.
Right. It's like, what?
Yeah.
1 in 8 people is getting. And
how did we get here?
How did we get here? And why so many so recently?
Yeah.
Well, okay, we can do that, or we can just back up. And I said the topic was food stamps. It really isn't, but it comes out of we still say that.
Yeah.
You want to talk about the history and then
work our way up? Actually started, the whole food stamp thing started in 1939.
Right.
During the Great Depression.
Okay.
Well, it was launched during the Great Depression. That was before 39, right? To support farmers and help low-income families access surplus food.
Because you had two problems. You had the Depression, and people don't have any money to buy stuff.
Right.
And farmers with food that nobody can buy.
Right. So you had butter, eggs, beans, cheese, all this other kind of stuff that they had nothing to do with it. So the idea was, well, for heaven's sakes, we've got people starving and we've got this surplus food. So why don't we buy that food and give it to the people who are starving? Right.
Okay. But it's not just giving it to them, right? There was a stamp system.
Yeah.
You had the orange stamps and the blue stamps.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, and the idea was this was to spend on this surplus food. So it was a very limited kind of a food stamp.
But it worked this way. You had to buy the food stamps. You buy $1 worth of orange food stamps, and you get 50 cents worth of blue food stamps. The orange food stamps, you could buy anything you want. Mm-hmm. The blue food stamps have to buy from this list of surplus food.
Right. And everybody was
like, This is pretty cool. This is a pretty good system.
Well, it supported the farmers because the farmers weren't getting their goods sold, and it supported people who couldn't eat.
So, and then it's not just like the government going in, buying the food, and then the government having to distribute it. Yeah. It's still going through the same grocery food channels. Yeah. It's just providing this way and so you have a stamp book, and that's what food stamps were.
Right. So. Yeah. But it ended during World War II.
Right. Exactly. So this is amazing. I didn't think there was such a thing.
As a government program that ended?
Exactly.
Right. Yeah. When does that happen?
It's like we're creating this program to solve this problem. Hey, guess what? We don't have this problem anymore. Program's done.
No.
Wait a minute.
We got all these people working here. What are you going to do with them?
Well, okay. Well, there's your one and only time that this has happened, as far as I know. But go ahead.
So it ended during World War II, but then it came up again under JFK. Yeah. There were modern food stamp programs, model programs under JFK, and then Lyndon B. Johnson kind of ran with it, and it was the whole war on poverty thing.
This is going to be the linchpin, the key to the war on poverty. Is we're going to bring back the food stamp program, but instead of the surplus thing, we're just going to. But, and I could not find out if you have it. You still had to buy the food stamps, which I don't quite get, because the original program made sense because you buy them for $1 and you get $1.50 to purchase other things. You still had to buy food stamps, but I never did run across exactly what that meant. Like, if it was the same thing where you paid $100 and you got $150 in food stamps or something.
Apparently, it was in 1977 that they eliminated the purchase requirement.
Yeah.
Food stamps were now provided based on need, and they weren't bought.
I love the purchase. It means, which that means you actually have to have a job, earn some money, and then with that money, you get more food than you would have been able to purchase before. I think that's the system. Yeah. But what was that, 77?
77. And then in the 80s to 90s, there was fraud and paper stamp concerns, so they started to move towards electronic systems.
I get that, because you can't sell you can't sell the EBT as easily as you could sell the food stamps.
That's right. And then 2008.
So what is that?
EBT, electronic benefit transfer.
What is SNAP?
SNAP is the new thing, Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program.
Okay, and EBT is just the way in which that system is, right?
How you did it with the card and all that. Yeah. So I guess. We see this. I have this chart here of the number of people. Have you seen this chart? The number of people who are getting SNAP assistance.
Staggering.
And it's like, in the past, up until 1970, it was, under 2 million or something. Now, of course, the population of the country was smaller back then, too. But
accounting for that.
But still, it's much smaller. And then it goes up until the mid-90s, and it drops down to about 2000, and then from 2000 to 2013, there's this sharp upward increase.
Right. So this little dip here, wasn't that Clinton and his big government, he was actually. Well, remember the show where I'm just a Clinton Democrat from 1995 standing still, and all of a sudden I've become right wing.
Well,
so that's kind of thing. So those guys back then were like, all right. The era of big government is over, right?
Yes, and there was a strong job market. That was the internet boom and all that kind of stuff.
And an increase in work requirements.
Yes.
And saying, the government assistance is not a lifestyle. It's not a generational thing where you and your...
This was when Gingrich took over the House of Representatives and forced Bill Clinton to come to, say, no, we have to put some conditions on this.
It was a Gingrich, Tip O'Neill, Clinton thing, and they said, all right, look.
I don't think Tip O'Neill was there, but yes, it was Gingrich and Bill Clinton. And they brought it down, but then after 2000, to the moon.
And that, and that's the Bush, the Bush, Dole, all those Republicans were big on expanding.
Oh, I know.
Food stamps.
There was a time where it seemed like if you were running for president, it was always a question of, I'm going to give you this. No, I'm going to give you this plus this. No, I'm going to give you this plus this. Everything was about how much you can give away, and that.
Compassionate conservatism.
Well, what's that quote? That democracy will work until people realize they can vote themselves largesse at the public draw.
Yeah. Exactly.
And so that's where we are now. It's like you have all these people who are voting so that they can get free stuff.
Yes. Remember that, like, God, this guy was so right wing. He was like Attila the Hun, who said, "What can you do for your country?" And what? He was a Democrat. What?
Yeah.
Yeah. What happened to that?
He got shot.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. So we've had this dramatic increase in people who are getting SNAP, food stamps, whatever you want to call it, where now it's over 40 million.
Well, before we get to today's 40 million, Flovid, which that term that everybody's using, was the combination.
Everybody knows it. George Floyd plus COVID,
plus right? COVID broke everybody's minds.
Yes.
And part of the mind breaking was, if you have a business and nobody's coming to it, you get government money.
Right.
If you had a job and you're not going to it, you get government money.
Right. Everybody gets government money.
Everybody, you get government money.
Yeah.
And so then, the reason that the government is shut down is because the Affordable Care Act, the worst named bill since, up until we got the Inflation Reduction Act. But before that, the worst named bill was the Affordable Care Act that nobody can afford. During COVID, they said nobody can afford this, so let's supplement everybody's.
Yeah.
But it had a window. It wasn't going to last forever, and the reason the government is shut down now is because the Democrats say, "Oh no, it must last forever."
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Do I have it right?
Yeah.
So, where's I going with this?
So how do we get to this 40 million?
Yeah. So the other thing was now we need to increase everybody's accessibility to SNAP benefits during COVID. Like, nobody can do anything, nobody can go anywhere. Whatever your requirements were, everything is being waived. Everybody can get food stamps, and now. This is every government program. Like, a program gets created that doesn't need to be created. Somebody comes along and says, "Well, you don't need that anymore," and you become the big meanie.
Yeah.
So now we're saying, all right, we don't need this spike from 20 million to 42 million. I think that's too much.
No, it's crazy. And it made me wonder, how did we get here in the first place? How did we get to a point where
1 in 8
people need help buying food? And
in LA County, it's 1 in 3.
Wow. Yeah, so I was doing some thinking about this and doing a little bit of research about it. So here's some points, I think. Why do people need food stamps? One, if you look at trends over the last several decades, so technology started to replace low skill work, right? So we have people who are working at the GM factory putting tires on, and then all of a sudden you have a robot that can do that.
Yeah.
Right? Okay, so that's one thing. A lot of low paid work was offshored. Remember, offshoring was a huge thing.
NAFTA and all of
exactly.
that.
We're going to become a service economy, and everybody else is going to be doing the labor.
I don't know what we're going to do with the manufacturing people who did manufacturing.
Yeah, what are we going to do with them? They have to learn to code, right? Yeah. Okay. We also flooded the market with more workers. First, women. Yeah. Right. It used to be, generally speaking, not completely, but generally speaking, the man worked, the woman stayed at home.
One paycheck could handle a household.
And so you didn't have childcare costs, right? Yeah. Mom was staying home with the kids. You had one breadwinner, and that was the way things were expected to be. But then when women were told that the only way to be fulfilled is to go work for a boss who hates you, is to go into the workplace, then that started happening. And then after we flooded the market with women, that wasn't good enough. We started flooding the job market with immigrants. So whenever you flood a market with more supply, the price goes down. So the cost or the price, the value of wages went down. Labor's share of the national income fell dramatically. The cost of living outpaced worker pay. Unions lost their bargaining power. And economic growth wasn't measured by how well the average person was doing. It was measured by how well the stock market was doing. So like all those things taken together kind of contribute to a downward pressure on wages and cost of living going up. So you run into the situation where people don't have as much money to spend on food. Now, I'm not trying to say that that's the complete explanation of all this, but there have been these trends going on for decades where workers aren't getting as much for their work.
Yeah.
And so the response from the government has not been, wait a minute, something's wrong, we need to fix that.
Let's retool the economy.
Right.
Here's free stuff.
Here's free cheese. Yeah, I mean, that's the wrong approach. You see this thing happening where all the money is going into the stock market. Corporations are making money, but laborers aren't making money. They're not being able to support themselves. So, okay, let's just give them some food. That's a completely wrong-headed response to it.
Some bread and circuses.
Yes, it's very wrong response to that problem.
Okay. But that's implying that 42 million people are going to starve to death.
Oh, I'm not sure. I'm not saying they're going to starve to death. I'm just saying that if you look at a household budget, like it's stretched more than
but if it was a supplemental program that helped you buy beans and rice and potted and canned meat,
right?
That seems government cheese. That seems like a
Where
good thing.
Where do you find government cheese?
There used to be government cheese. And this is the thing. What if you did, instead of saying, here's free food money, get anything you want, Cheetos and Ding Dongs and whatever you want.
Right. You have to get stuff from this aisle.
Instead, yes, you had the EBT aisle with black and white cans. That would be poor shaming, right? Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And it would be unacceptable. Mm-hmm. But in a way, it should be like, here are sacks of government cheese and government beans and rice and pasta and meat and vegetables, and this is what EBT will pay for.
Right.
And now it must pay for everything, including, and as I'm looking for it, in some places it says yes. Well, it excludes, toiletries and the things that won't pay for.
How about Cabernet Sauvignon? Can you get
Cabernet Sauvignon? But it also says you can't get prepared hot food. But of course you can.
Yeah.
There are all kinds of fast food restaurants that are taking EBT.
And also prepared hot food sometimes is pretty doggone cheap. Like at the local grocery store in my neighborhood, you can get a whole rotisserie chicken for just a couple of bucks, which is actually not a bad deal.
I would leave that on the EBT's on the EBT schedule. But I think that they're so the big beautiful bill is going to change EBT in 2026, and one of the leading expenditures of EBT is soda.
Oh my God.
And so the combination of, some personal responsibility on the Trump administration and the Kennedy Maha is like, how about if we stop feeding people things that give them health problems, give them diabetes, that we then have to treat later on top of this problem.
Right.
And so 11 states have gotten on board. You can guess which ones. So we're going, we're going to cut out soda and junk food. And then the others are are fighting. It's like, what are you fighting? We're not saying the money is not coming in. We're just saying don't make your people fat.
Yeah. Stop buying
and
sodas.
Unhealthy.
Yeah, right. Soda is just awful stuff. Gosh, I mean, you have a soda every once in a while, okay, but drinking soda on a regular basis, that's just miserable.
So the Secretary Brooke Rollins, who's the Secretary of Agriculture, says on day one, we told every state to send us their SNAP data to make sure illegal immigrants aren't getting benefits meant for American families. 29 states stepped up, 21 refused, and 2 sued us for asking.
Wow. Yeah, and why should we be giving food to illegal immigrants? You're not even supposed to be here. Why are we feeding you?
See, when I see some of these numbers, I wonder if there isn't some, if they're not being quite clear, if they mean non-citizens, which is different.
That's a different thing than illegal immigrants.
But
That's
I
right.
also agree. If you're here as a refugee, if you're here and you have a green card, you're not a citizen. You do not get all of the benefits of citizenship.
No.
If you're coming here from escaping the war in Afghanistan, well, you know what? You go to the Afghan community in the mosque and let them provide for you, whatever extra food that they need. Not until you become, and I don't even mean a green card. Well, Mrs. Pigweed was a resident alien.
Yeah.
Which means you can work but you can't vote, and you can't serve on a jury, and you don't get all of the benefits of citizenship, which to me should include for government handouts.
Yeah. So I think as a field trip, we should go to Switzerland and just tell them you have to give us a job and you have to feed us, and just see what they say.
Yeah, I say, well, what's wrong with it? I just think my life would be better here.
Yeah.
What about your country?
I don't think
it would be better here. That's all I should need.
I don't think they'd even let us in. We probably wouldn't even make it. Like the plane wouldn't land or something. Yeah. So this idea that we should be now. Okay. I think it's important to have a safety net, and that there should be kind of a minimum standard of what people can fall down to,
Yeah, what did I hear? It says a safety net is not a hammock.
That's a good one. That's a good one. Yeah. Yeah. So we should have a safety net, and we should provide for people who are poor, American citizens who are poor. We should help them.
What about work requirements?
Yeah.
Is that too much to ask?
No, it's not too much to ask.
How about a woman that says, work? I got no husband and 5 kids. I ain't got time to work. I got to take.
Well,
wait a minute.
Well, that's actually an interesting question.
Yeah.
I remember there was this black politician in Maryland. Wish I could remember his name. I can picture his face. Who said, a lot of people are recommending this whole you have to work to get benefits. And he was bringing up that very sort of topic. Right. He was saying, okay, you got a mother with 5 kids. She's doing everything she can just to maintain the 5 kids. Now you're going to send her to work. What does that do? Like, where's the pro-family side of that? Right.
Well, the pro-family side is that to encourage her to get married to one of the 5 fathers, and ask him to take care of it. So culturally, just the incentivizing that we've done is not good.
Yeah, well, there's that. Obviously, you want to encourage. Well, this is another topic.
Yeah.
But we want to encourage family formation. We want to encourage, intact families raising children.
Yes, and let's just say that one of the baby daddies was willing to step up. She would probably say, "Yeah, but
I'll lose my benefits.
I'm getting $1,500 a month in bennies if I get married." So something's wrong with the system.
Yes. Yes.
So I've seen these. So I have some doubts about this. I'm seeing all kinds of insane numbers. TikTok people. I don't know what goes on over there in TikTok, but it seems like it's insane. She says, they just decreased my $4,300 a month to bibbidi.
I looked it up.
Wait a minute.
You don't get that much. You don't.
I found the average is $187
a week.
A month per person.
A month, $187 per month.
So let me see. So back when you were 7, that's $1,300.
Okay.
Which I don't know. Did Mrs. Crowhill? Does she say that she spent $1,300 back when you were a family of 7 a month?
No.
Right.
Nowhere near.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's plenty.
Yeah, that's plenty. Yeah, I think her monthly budget was Her weekly budget was $60.
Okay. So now it's starting to make sense to me, really, because when I've seen the these memes of like showing two shopping carts. This is a working person and this is a non-working person. Like when I go there, if I get two of those recyclable bags, it's probably $75.
Yeah.
And I'm behind somebody with overflowing cart. And I don't know, maybe I'm misjudging them. They don't look like somebody who's comfortable spending $450 at the grocery store.
Yeah.
Maybe they are. I don't know what kind of job they have. But now I'm starting to think, like that first guy, am I the only guy paying for his groceries?
Right.
Like
Maybe
I don't know anybody
they're paying half of it with EBT. I don't know.
Yeah. So, no, well, that's what I'm thinking. I'm like, there must be a lot of EBT going on here for you to casually fill this
cart with
this cart. So
chips and ice
speaking
cream
of, so let me give you, we mentioned Rush Limbaugh in the last episode. So here's Rush. Liberals measure compassion by how many people are given welfare. Conservatives measure compassion by how many people no longer need it.
Yeah.
And so I think that, that this, like the liberal states, they won't even take away the candy and soda because of their idea of that's not being compassionate.
Yeah.
And while conservatives are going, how about working for a living?
Yeah.
And
how about encouraging people to do? So I mean, this is a hard thing because you want to nudge people in the right direction. You want to nudge people towards marriage and family.
I'm saying it's easy.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right, yeah. But at the same time, you want to be compassionate towards people who are in a bad situation. So it's a hard thing to balance. But how do you provide for people truly in need
and figure out who is scamming the system?
Yes.
It's not. Who knows?
That's not an easy thing to do. But what happens is everything gets reduced down to bumper sticker mentality.
Yes.
Where it's just, you're cutting stuff, but okay, well we're cutting benefits because we want to encourage a certain kind of behavior.
Yeah.
Right? And now some of the cuts, we were cutting benefits to illegal aliens. Okay. Yes, you're cutting SNAP benefits, but we're cutting them from illegal aliens.
Well, yeah. Well, that's the Medicare cuts and kicking people off of.
Yeah.
Yes, it's kicking people off. It's not kicking off U.S. citizens off. You know what I mean? Like they kind of just lump it. They say people so that you won't think that they're actual U.S. citizens.
It's the illegal aliens who are getting cut off. Yeah.
All right, so like I said, I'll probably just do this whole thing with memes. How about this little girl here who has a confused look? She says, "Let me see if I understand this. If I work, I have to pay taxes to the federal government, but if I don't work, the federal government pays me." It is kind of like that. You go, really? Is that how it works? Yeah, it kind of does.
The federal government doesn't pay you a whole lot, but yes, that's true. Yeah.
But if you want to make it a lifestyle, in fact, a generational lifestyle,
and a lot of people do that.
You learn. I saw one. Who were saying that their grandparents had figured out how to game the system, and then they pass it down to their kids and their kids onto their kids, and nobody works.
Right.
Hey, you don't live particularly well, but
right.
And I don't know what you do all day,
Oh well, you write poetry.
Yes, you do.
Compose psalms on the harp. You
make such good productive use of all of this non-working time.
That. Yeah. If you just going down into downtown Baltimore, and you'll see all these people.
You'll see so much creative energy
playing creative stuff on the harp by the side of the road. Yep, happens all the time.
I don't know. I mean, I've got some more stuff, but it's all just making me sad. Although there are the memes that are nothing more than pictures of signs at national parks.
Oh, those are pretty good.
Yeah.
We got to do at least one of those.
This one's not a national park. It's by the seashore. It says, "Please do not feed the birds." This is not a joke meme. This is an actual sign.
Yeah.
Feeding creates a dependent population that is a potential health hazard and makes a costly mess. It's like, Do you even know what you're saying here?
Could you apply that to humans?
Yeah, so they were right. And then the bear one was, yes. Then they will be if you feed them, they become dependent, will be unable to fend for themselves.
Yes.
Hello?
Yeah.
Yeah. Is that hard to apply to human beings?
So I think if we were to try to sum it up.
Yeah.
Yes, we want to be compassionate towards people who are in need and need assistance. Okay, so that's one part of it. But we don't want to create dependency. We don't want to be feeding people who shouldn't be here in the first place.
Yeah.
Right? And we also don't want an economic system where wages are continually pushed down because we're trying to make Wall Street happy.
Right. And rather than tweak an economy to benefit, we'll just pay you off.
Yes, exactly. So rather than trying to fix the fundamental problem that's driving families to a situation where they need assistance, we're just going to say, okay, fine, we're going to let Wall Street get their profits, and then we're going to pay you off by giving you these benefits.
That's what's the bread and circuses kind of thing? Like,
it is.
We'll give you free cable and snack foods if you don't riot.
That's right.
If you don't complain about the economic situation that we've created.
That's right.
But beyond food, here's some more taxpayer funding.
Okay.
$15 a month high-speed internet. Half price Amazon Prime, Walmart delivery, DoorDash, free or discounted admission to museums, zoos, and aquariums, reduced rates on Microsoft subscriptions, and discounted gaming services.
Why do you get that?
This is part. Well, I mean, it's Twitter. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Do I have to research everything here?
No.
But if this guy is not a liar, and I've done enough research to know that it's not limited to government cheese, that EBT and SNAP perks do include things like this here. And then Adam Carolla says the average, this is a classic Adam Carolla remark, the average female who gets no free food from the government is 146 pounds. The average SNAP recipient is 211 pounds. Which tells me you're getting too many ho-hos. Did you see discounts on gym memberships in there at all?
Or how about if you can only get lean meat and vegetables on? How about that?
Well, I mean that is what Maha and the anti-junk food movement is trying to do. Why are you getting pushback from blue states on this one? We're not saying we're not going to give you as much money. We're saying you can't spend it on crap. What are you mad about?
Yeah. I'm sure they have some explanation. I'm sure somebody did a paper at Harvard on...
more black people eat ho-hos than...
So it's discriminatory.
Yes. It's racist to say don't eat,
Right.
If you stop... trying to stop diabetes is racist.
Yeah.
I think that's probably what
I think that's
claim
where
is.
we are.
All right, well, I'm expecting, so the combination of the fact that nobody's getting anything right now because of the government shutdown, but when it does come back in 2026, they're going to
scream and yell.
There are going to be some changes with work requirements and eligibility and that kind of thing, and what you can buy, that I think are all moving in the right direction. And how about this? Can we just go back? Where are my numbers? I'm not saying we can kill the program. If we just go back a couple of years, how about in December of 2019? This is per month. Was $4.5 billion.
Right.
In 2022 was 11.
Yeah.
I mean,
well,
can we at least just go back to pre-COVID?
Because President Autopen brought all these illegals into the country.
Actually, I shouldn't even blame him for it. He didn't even know what he was signing.
No.
So sorry, Joe. He didn't even know what you were doing.
You didn't know what you were doing. It was whoever was running the country while you were sleeping. Yeah.
So I'm saying there should be some improvement, and although one more funny meme, there's a picture of Jeffrey Dahmer that says, well, when food stamps run out, we still have each other. That's terrible.
That's bad. Thanks so much for listening to Beer and Conversation with Pigweed and Crowhill. Remember to visit us at pigweedandcrowhill.com or send us an email at pigweedshow@gmail.com.